this demonstration video, I'm going to show you how you can glue paper or other materials onto another surface by using a paintbrush. Okay, this technique kind of allows the glue to sort of become a better binder, because sometimes when people glue things, they don't put glue across the whole thing, so you have parts that are kind of lifting up off the paper when you don't want that. Okay, and this is part of my demonstration videos about doing a collage with a posterized image. And here's my paper that I'm going to glue stuff on. Okay, and obviously I haven't done anything yet to it. I've only just drawn my image. Okay, and I'm ready to start gluing things. But first, I want to show you my 5 different values that are found in this image. Okay, each value is going to be a different shade of a color. Okay, so my first value, I'm just going to use white paper. Okay, my second value, I'm going to use this shade of blue. Maybe I'll spread these out so you can kind of see. So there's my second paper, second value. I got a few of those papers. For my third value, I'm going to use this tissue paper, so it's starting to get darker. For my fourth value, I'm going to use this dark blue paper. And then for my fifth and final value, I'm going to use this black. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So let me look at my picture first before I do anything at all. Okay. When you're gluing down paper for your collage, okay, what I would do if you're doing this project with the posterized images, what I would do is find the area with the largest amount of image. Okay, so when I look at my picture, the biggest areas are this like light white area by his cheek, his forehead, maybe this cheek as well, and then maybe the outline sort of around his forehead and eyes. Okay, that's probably the biggest area, and also this black part. Okay, I would do all those big areas first. That's what I would glue down first. Okay, then after you have all your big areas glued down, I would do these small details, which might be harder to place. Okay, so the way I'm going to show you is I'm going to start out with my black background. Okay, and that's my darkest value, so I'm going to use my black paper. There are a couple ways you could do this to get your paper ready. So if I'm going to fill all these squares right here, and this is all going to be black, what I could do, one way that I could do this is I could just rip up little pieces of paper and glue them down to fit that shape. So I could glue one right here, then I could get another paper and put it right there, and then I could get another one and put it right here, and then I could just go on until I have the whole area filled. Or what you could do is try to draw the same curve on a piece of paper. So maybe his forehead's like that. Okay, you'll need some scissors, and I forgot to grab some. So I could, cut on that line I just drew. Okay, and then I'm just going to check and see if that matches the curve. That's right here. So if I put this up against it, it is not the same. So I'm just going to cut out what I need to fix. Okay, and I'm going to try it again to see if that's about the same curve. It's about the same, so I could use this piece right here. After you kind of have that curve ready, you can flip your paper over, make sure this is kind of staying in the same area, and then you could just trace the back side so you know how much to cut out. So this is that back corner, that's the curve of my nephew's head. Okay, and then you're going to just cut on the lines you just drew. Okay, and I'm just going to test to see if that's right. I got off a little bit, but that's okay. I can just cut this smaller. Make sure it's the right size. It's pretty close. So what I could do now is I could just glue this down right here if I wanted to. What I would do, or suggest, I would suggest just using the torn method where you're just tearing paper up and gluing it down to fit the area. Okay, this is going to give you less heartache, and it's not going to take you quite as long. If you just use little pieces and glue them down as you go, you can figure out as you're going how much you'll need. Okay, so I'm going to use my torn method to show you how I glue paper down with a brush. Okay, and if you are doing something different, it's going to be the same thing. So if you're not doing a collage like this, it's the same process. So in this cup I have some glue. Okay, this just makes it easier to dip my brush into than just in a bottle of glue. Okay, and this is just a little tiny, I don't know how much this is, just a little tiny cup. Okay, and then I have just an old paintbrush that's not very good. I would not use really nice painting brushes. I would just use an old paintbrush that you haven't used very much. Okay, and you're dipping it, getting your brush loaded with glue, and you're painting it on. Okay, and you want to get the whole thing, everything, covered in glue. Okay, but don't take a lot of time on this, because glue, when it's spread out, can dry fast. Then you're going to have to do it all over again. Okay, so my paper is covered in glue. Now I'm just going to press it down into the area that I want it to be. Okay, and then I'm just going to use 2 fingers to press it down. I can tell already that this is going to lay down flatter, and I'm not going to have parts that bubble up. The corners aren't going to peel up. I can tell already that it's staying down pretty well. Okay, and that's how you usually brush to apply glue. Okay, this way, I like to use this method a lot because it makes gluing look a lot nicer, and it doesn't buckle a lot whenever you are applying glue to something. So like gradually when it dries, this paper, if you just use a squeeze bottle with a tip like this, that paper is going to want to peel up because there's like an air pocket in it. This way you don't have any air pockets, so it's all going to be flat. Okay, so this is how you basically paint with glue.